It was a very fun set. Our director Camille, even though his English was developing, he has had a great sensibility about himself and a very warm atmosphere he created for us as actors. Of course, the great Paul Walker, very fun dude, but also very focused and serious and at a real good prime part of life, you know. And David just was so amazing, you know, his athletic ability. Um, he always was able just to have a certain energy because when you see David, you just see somebody that's amazing, you know, a guy that does his own stunts, that could do a flip right in front of you on one leg. Tremaine Alexander, um, you know, I think I'm a vegetarian, first of all, and he's not. You know what I mean? And I think he loves goat meat, medium rare. And when you eat red meat, it puts aggression in you, you know? And having this West Indian flair about himself, and, you know, I grew up in Brooklyn, you know, we had a lot of West Indian and Jamaican brothers and the roadie spots. And so I kind of like looked at that mentality of energy and try to bring it to the character. But I think that, you know, he's very ruthless and vicious, but I do think he has a purpose. Um, but he said something that we say in my neighborhood, which is cash rule everything around me. And I think that's his motivation in life, you know. And when you grow up in a ghetto, whether it's 2010, 2050, or 1980, the ghetto will push you to be a victim of your environment. And if you grow to be the man, which he grew to be the man, you know, the vanity is going to show. I mean, this guy had a logo on his knife, which was, I thought that was really over the top, but I was like, okay, why not? But yeah, Tremaine is really about himself and about his money, about his business. And maybe he'll learn that that's not all that it takes. For the American audience, first and foremost, we're going to see a whole exhibition of parkour. And we have enjoyed it in small doses. In James Bond, we got a little small dose of it. Sometimes you watch the superhero movies and you get a small dose of it. No, this is a full course meal. And we haven't got that here. You know, the original film that Luc Besson did, District 13, was, you know, it was in a foreign language. I have the DVD, and all my buddies have it because we are fans of the genre. But the average American moviegoer have not seen this, and they're going to be blown away. You know, there was a big thing that happened in the movie business some years ago when Jackie Chan had teamed up with Chris Tucker and did the Rush Hour series, and we as Americans were so amazed that Jackie Chan does his own stunts. Well, David does his own stunts, and the stunts he's doing are advanced. We have a special album that was recorded in secret for 6 years that's called Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. And it's a record that started from the dream of a fan. And the idea was not just to make a record per se, but to make a piece of art. Because I've noticed over the years that music has devalued itself. And at one point I supported the internet because young people had a chance to find music they wouldn't normally find. But when it comes to an entitlement that music should be free and music is not appreciated for all the art that goes into it, no, we have to remove that concept and reinstate the artistic value. So this Once Upon a Time in Shaolin project is a piece of art. Then there's also an album we're recording for consumers, which is called The Better Tomorrow. And this particular album is a record that travels from the history of music, from the history of soul music to hip hop. When I was making music, I came in the age when the sampler was firstly invented, and it wasn't computers and stuff like that making music. Now we've gotten from a live drum kit all the way to a computer. that could program the beats for you, and just could be on the plane doing it. I always dreamed of making music on a plane when I was doing it, because you couldn't bring this big keyboard or this MPC on a plane. Now you could do that, right? And what I did on this album, A Better Tomorrow, I chronicled that. I went back to Memphis and recorded with the same guys who worked with Al Green, Isaac Hayes, these same old musicians. Some came to the studio with an oxygen tank. You know what I mean? But my idea was, in the 90s, we would sample this music. And I wasn't conscious of music at the time. Otherwise, I didn't know what a 2-4-1 progression was, you know? Now that I understand the science of music and the theory of music, I'm able to write music on paper. And so I wrote this symphony, shall I say, and I took it to Memphis, and I got these players to come in. I got the horn players that you hear on Otis Redding, and you hear all these great songs, and I've composed the album around that music. And I call it A Better Tomorrow because if we're having a great day today and you make $1 million, I make $1 million, that's a great day. But why not have a better tomorrow and get $2 million? But if you're having a crummy day, you need a better tomorrow.